And when the angel which spake unto Cornelius was departed, he called two of his household servants and a devout soldier of them that waited on him continually. So he has, again, like I said, he was a powerful man and well respected. So he had these household servants that he called upon. And when he had declared all these things unto them, he sent them to Joppa. On the morrow, as they went on their journey and drew nigh unto the city, Peter went up upon the housetop to pray about the sixth hour. So we have Cornelius, who was ready to send people. Uh, wait, I think I'm jumping ahead. Let me just stop. We had Peter who was praying. Okay, let's just start right there. And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they made ready, he fell into a trance and saw heaven open. He fell into a trance and saw heaven open and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the four corners and let down to the earth. Could you all imagine praying? So he said he was praying about the sixth hour. I think they were saying about 3 o'clock. I got to look that up to see when the sixth hour is. But he was praying about the sixth hour. And then it says he fell into a trance and then he saw heaven open and then a sheet, like a cloth with four corners let down to the earth. Could you all imagine that? I don't know. I would think I'm dreaming. How about you? Biblical UFO. I know. Wes, I couldn't. Okay, I'm just gonna keep reading because you all. I don't know. I'm a visual person, so if I stop, I'm not gonna apologize. That's just how God created me. I'm visual, so I'm reading sometimes, but I'll have to stop and reread again because I'm actually imagining these things, and I can see, with my imagination. Of course, my thoughts are not God's thoughts, but I'm just imagining it, how these things would look. And Wes, that's hilarious. So he saw heaven open, a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the four corners and let down to earth, wherein were all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat. Okay, that's the voice I had to make because it's in red in the Bible, so I'm going to read it like that. Because in my mind, that's how he said it. Rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. So here Peter is kind of, saying, Lord, I've never eaten anything unclean. I've never, you know, because they have these certain rules that they had to abide by, right? They had to eat things a certain way, kosher. And I'm not Jewish by any means, but I do know that there's a certain way that you have to prepare foods and a certain, just certain things that you have to do. If somebody is, Jewish in the comment section and can help us along with this and explain some of the practices or the traditions or rules, that might not be the best way to describe it, but if you can help us out, they'll be grateful in this particular part of the Bible study. Unleavened bread. Okay, so and the voice spake unto him again a second time, right? So he wanted to make sure he got this. Okay, so it says, and the voice spake unto him again the second time, what God hath cleansed, what God has cleansed, that call not thou uncommon. Now, when I was reading it in the NIV, I'm going to read that because it said 11:14. This was how it reads. Let me see. Where is it? Acts 10:14. I'm on the wrong page. So Acts 10:14, when I read it, said, okay, I'm going to read 13 and 14 first. 13 says, in the sheet, no, 12. Let's just start with 12. In the sheet were all sorts of animals, reptiles, and birds. Then a voice said to him, Get up, Peter, kill and eat them. No, Lord, Peter declared, I have never eaten anything that our Jewish laws have declared impure and unclean. That kind of helps out, right? See, reading it in the King James Version sometimes, and listen, if you are a person that reads it in King James and you have no idea what's going on, I'm telling you, read another translation and you'll get it. You see how I was like, okay, I read it in some parts because the words didn't make sense. And when I read it in the NLT, What's this? This is a chronological life application. This is when I read it in the NLT, it made perfect sense to me. So sometimes, you guys, it's not that you don't understand it, it's just that maybe you need to read another translation and it's helpful. So he's saying, I don't eat these things. It's unclean. In fact, I hope I'm not jumping the gun, but I just want to say this before I forget you all. Not only did they see food as certain foods as unclean, but they also saw who as unclean. I'll let you all figure that out in the comment section. I'm not going to say it right now, but who did they think was unclean? Because that's going to be very important information as we continue to read. I'm old school King James. You old school? See, I grew up on King James Version, but I'm telling you that NLT and that NIV did something a little bit different for me. So I, when I remember verses, when I was younger, I remember them in the King James Version. So when I recite things, or if it just comes to my memory, I'll say them in the King James Version. But uh, when I reread them, sometimes I'll reread them in the NLT, in the NIV, the Amplified, because I'm a person that likes a lot of details when I can get it. So I hear you, Wes. All right, are you okay following along? Are we all right? Okay. All right, let's keep going. So, no, Lord, Peter declared, I have never eaten anything that our Jewish laws have declared impure and unclean. So he's like, no, according to Jewish law, I cannot eat those things. They're unclean. And again, who knows who else? I probably gave it away. There's something else in this passage that they saw as unclean, and we're going to get to it. We'll get to that. But the voice spoke again, do not call something unclean if God has made it clean. And when I read this, I saw that we were going somewhere. You can get excited about the text right now, because he just said, Lord, I don't eat things that are unclean. According to the Jewish laws, I don't do this. We don't eat things that are unclean. We only eat things that are clean, right? Whatever they may be. All right. So, and then the voice said to him, do not call something unclean if God has made it clean. All right, I'm going to keep going. The same vision was repeated 3 times. 1, 2, 3 times he said this. Okay, so let me go back to the King James Version so I don't get in trouble. What God hath cleansed, this is verse 15 I'm reading right now. This was after Peter said, no, Lord, I have never eaten anything unclean. Okay, so 15. And the voice spake unto him again the second time, what God hath cleansed, that call not thou common. This was done thrice. Thrice? Y'all know that's King James Version. Thrice? Who said? Do people even say thrice anymore? I'm just asking. Let's keep going. Thrice, and the vessel was received up again into heaven. This is verse 17. Now, while Peter doubted in himself what this vision which he had seen should mean, behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simon's house and stood before the gate. Look at that. Do you see how God was working things out in different areas with different people at the same time? And guess what else? If you all didn't figure out, what I was talking about, another thing that people saw as unclean were Gentiles. Didn't the Jews see Gentiles as unclean? They didn't even want to have any part with them. Like, they just were like, no, we don't associate with Gentiles. Jews and Gentiles did not associate. They were not in the same category, if you will. And so for Peter to have that vision from God, you could tell that he was kind of preparing him for something and kind of saying, hey, you know what? No, what God has cleansed, we no, we're going to, this says that call not thou common. What God has cleansed, you can take a part of, right? So he's like, to me, it was almost a foreshadow of what was to come. Like, he was kind of setting the stage for us as the readers of this text to see that, he's, do not call something unclean, right? Because God's made these things clean. So it's like he's kind of giving us a look into what's about to happen.